This week on Walk and Talk Podcast, we're sitting down with Kevin Rasberry, Director of Culinary and Executive Chef at the Grove at Trelago. Kevin is one of those chefs the industry quietly leans on. When kitchens are short-staffed, when chefs walk out, when communities need help, he's the call. One week it's Jacksonville, the next it's Clearwater, then Tallahassee. Different teams, different challenges, same expectation. Walk in and make it work. At the same time, Kevin is building something of his own, a growing seasoning brand called Mama Jean's Seasonings. New product lines, experiments, farmers market plans, all while holding down a demanding leadership role that asks him to be chef, manager, mentor, and fixer, often all in the same day. This conversation isn't about trophies or titles. It's about endurance. It's about staying sharp. It's about forcing yourself to grow when comfort would be easier. We talk about juggling entrepreneurship while being fully committed to your job, about burnout, about why chefs are leaving kitchens, about what leadership really looks like when things aren't clean or polished. This is a real look at modern chef life. No filters, no highlight reel. Let's get into it. All right, we're into the 4th episode of the year, and this one is another banger. I have, obviously, Chef Kevin Rasberry in house. We also have Chef Michael Collantes here in the house. Chef Kevin, welcome back. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a minute. But it's good to be back.
It is good to be back. It felt natural. It felt right today.
I'm home away from home.
Yeah.
Besides work.
Well, let's jump into the food, man.
Absolutely.
I don't like to let the audience wait on what we cooked up. What's going on?
So today we ended up cooking up a few dishes. The first dish was a seared tile fish with a parsnip silk with a charred zucchini ragu.
And what's in that?
So in the ragu is charred zucchini, chickpeas, roasted red peppers, shallots, red onions, and it has a Dijon vinaigrette. And on top of the fish is topped with a sauce vierge. All right, so in the sauce vierge, it's concassé tomatoes, it's cherry heirloom tomatoes, Italian parsley, chiffonade basil, shallots, and olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic.
All right. Well, I can attest to the fact that it was freaking delicious.
Gotcha.
Okay, and that's what counts, as far as I'm concerned. It looks great. John took pictures already. Super. I don't know what the deal is, but we have a lot of footage. We were doing extra on the video today. So we still have to go back and cook the second dish, which is the
fire top sirloin with the charred tomato puree and red pineapple glaze to go on top.
All right, I'm kind of excited about that one.
No, that one's mine.
Yeah, and I'm a meat eater, right? I mean, fish is great. Fish is meat. I get it, and I love it. But I mean, like the red meat.
The red meat.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah, and I'm the fish guy, so I love that last dish. Chef, what a great introduction to what you do. It's definitely something it just felt like I was in the Mediterranean, so I loved all those.
I appreciate it.
I'm ready for the freaking steak now. That's the truth. That's no joke. Kevin, you're one of those chefs who get sent out when things are broken. When the kitchen's short-staffed or one of your chefs quit, you're filling the gap. How did you become that?
It was kind of bestowed upon me. I like a challenge, and I'll never say no to anything. So once someone presents an opportunity, I'm going to go for it. I'll figure it out later, how I'm going to handle it. But at the same time, it's like I don't want to show any fear or anything like that or any doubt. I'm going to go in there, make it happen somehow, some way.
Not everybody's cut the same, though. Not everybody does that. In fact, most people, should I say most people, there's so many slackers that are out there, and they come in hot and heavy and strong. And then in the end, bag of rocks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you're walking into different scenarios. Everyone has their own challenges. Chefs are defeated, leaderships, you're going in cleaning people's messes. It's not the most ideal. No, I mean, I get to travel. It's so much fun. No, I'm going into someone else's mess and playing cleanup. I mean, that's tough.
Walk and Talk Media is proudly supported by Rack Porcelain USA, creating durable, beautifully designed tableware for chefs and hospitality professionals. Learn more at rackporcelain.com.
Also, we work with my company.
I'm waiting for an opportunity.
Put me in the game, coach.
Yeah.
But you've been traveling. It's been Clearwater, Jacksonville, Tallahassee. Like, you've been going all over the place. Not only is, the chef's life, you're talking 60, 70, 80 hours a week, but now you're traveling.
How's that?
It's fun. I mean, you get to be on the road. I mean, at that same time, I still get to see other kitchens, how other kitchens were operating or what they're doing wrong. And certain things that they're doing good, maybe I can incorporate that into the workflow of my kitchen.
I didn't think about it. Being a chef, you're stuck in a dungeon, right? I always look at the kitchen like it's a dungeon. Sorry, right? I'm a front of the house guy, always will be, I need to be with the people. But you get to go on the road. That's for you is probably like magical, right? You get time to yourself. You're driving, you put the tunes on, whatever, and you're just.
Yeah, man, that's when I have my concert series in the car, put the playlist on shuffle and, you hear songs you haven't heard in like 20, 30 years or so. But I mean, it's fun. I mean, I get to see when I go to these communities and stuff like that after work, I get to go eat at the local spots.
You've seen a lot of kitchen staff walk away recently. From your perspective, what's really going on?
Yeah, a lot has changed. As Chef and I were talking before we were rolling, so much has changed from COVID. You see a lot of people exiting. You see a lot of the older guys finding second, third careers in industry and not industry, and also finding things in the industry that they, restaurant chefs are, getting depleted. It's not really something that's, you find a lot of now. But I think there's something to be said that we really have to cultivate this next season of what cooking and being a chef is beyond just, when we're kind of the same age, Chef, and we were talking about it, it was like Food Network was everything then. It just started in like, all these cooks, you're telling me all these cooks want to just come in here and be the next, Bobby Flay or something like that.
Mm-hmm, correct. But at the end of the day, I feel like not everyone's built for this. So it's like, I tell everybody, when you start off, why do you want to do this? Is this something you want to do? Because once you get in, reality is going to hit you full force. And then you're going to want to quit. So like I tell everybody, I was like, be serious that you want to do this. I don't mind teaching you. I don't mind showing you the ropes. But don't waste my time. Do not waste my time on this. Because it's like, this is something that I'm passionate about. So it's like, I can't keep the knowledge that I have. I want to share it with the next person. Therefore, I feel like there's people out there that are more knowledgeable than me, like Chef Mike. I'm at a point in my career, I'm never ashamed to ask the next chef, how do you do this? What am I doing wrong? How can I make this better? At the end of the day, you got to humble yourself. Not every chef knows everything. So it's like, you want to surround yourself with great people to learn. So, I mean, that's my take on it.
No, absolutely. I think that's as soon as you stop learning, or I always say you're too young. Like I get these young cooks, you're too young to be so set in your ways. It's so annoying. I'm like, guys, you've got so much potential, and then you're cutting yourself short because you think you're already arrived. And like coming from a guy like me who's been doing it for 25 years, I'm still not there. All I do is play with fish and rice, and I still don't know anything about fish and rice. You know what I mean? Like there's something to be said about that. So Chef, when you walk into the kitchen that's struggling, what's like the first thing you try to stabilize? Is the food, the people, culture?
The food. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I was summoned to go there. And I got to tell everybody, everything starts and ends with the food. So I'll see what the struggles and issues that they're having with the food. And then I'll assert from there just to make things better. As far as maybe it's the execution, or maybe they just don't have the proper guidance to execute it properly.
Right. That's great perspective, because it's, we always say food's universal. So we might not speak the same language. We may not come from the same background, but we could all come to the table together. And so I think that helps also break some boundaries for you too. Mm-hmm. Like their guards down when they say, okay, this guy can sling some pans around.
Yeah, because I don't want them to see me and just get intimidated. At the end of the day, I'm just here to help. It's like, how can I help you put out a successful meal, and to put it out successfully after I'm gone? So it's like, the way I look at it is just like, how can I get you to see my vision, or just a general vision in itself to where you're putting out quality food?
That needs to be built, and that needs to be built. Everything else is built.
If your kitchen storage is costing you time every single day, pay attention. Metro Food Service is taking entries for the Kitchen Storage Makeover through February 27th. One operation will receive up to $100,000 in Metro storage solutions, plus an on-site workflow assessment, a custom layout approved by your team, and a full install and assembly. And the makeover will be featured in FENS magazine. Link to enter is in Metro's Instagram bio or at fensmag.com/KSM.
Do you feel like a lot of the chefs in the leadership positions that you're going into those, they're receptive, or, I mean, you're all under one company, but ultimately, like, the chef is always the last word, the last say in the kitchen. You feel like, you're able to bring something to their table.
I feel like it, but something that someone told to me, I actually had one of my cooks tell me this a few years ago. He told me, he was like, everyone's 100% is different. So it's like, you can't compare your work ethic to someone else. Maybe they have something that they're strong in. Maybe they have something that they're weak in. So it's like, you kind of just want to hone in on their strengths. And then also with their weaknesses, you want to build that up so that can be their strength. A friend of mine told me, she was like, you will achieve so much more once you get outside of your comfort zone. So you want to take their discomfort and turn that into a comfort.
Right.
And then create a new discomfort for them.
I mean, that's where you grow, right?
Absolutely.
I'm going to add to that too. Change the food first, right? That's the reason for being there. People and culture are they're not one and the same, but I think you can approach and make the corrections in the same movement, because the culture is going to change when you get rid of the people that are weak or bringing the operation down. And the more you do that, that builds the culture in the optic of the people who are still employed there. And now you're building that team and you're instilling in them whatever that culture is supposed to come from the top down.
Yeah, absolutely.
The hard part that I find, with running multiple restaurants, multiple operations, so much of the culture is driven by the driver, right? So good driver, bad driver, doesn't matter, but it's not tied to the operator. It's not tied to the business, right? Just because you're underneath this umbrella doesn't mean everyone is operating underneath the umbrella. They're going to operate individually. So like, your job is really to help you're going to all these different places and trying to speak the same language, same voice across the board. So how, you're doing all these things, you're running around, you're putting fires out. How do you find yourself keeping the sanity in between all of these things?
I don't. I even ask myself, it's like, sometimes I'm surprised, like I haven't lost my mind or anything like that, because not only being a chef, being a manager, it's like you wear so many hats, and then you got to deal with people's different personalities. I don't want to make it sound like, sometimes you have to babysit, but I mean, it's just the reality of it. I know what I signed up for when I got into this industry. I know it's not all smiles and Hallmark cards. You have to get in and get in the trenches. My sanity, honestly, I love what I do. So that's the only reason I could say, like, I keep my sanity, because it's like I haven't lost that passion for the food.
Right. It's so much harder to, so much harder to fake the funk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm surprised I haven't developed a drug or drinking habit at this point.
So with that being said, what helps you specifically keep you grounded?
That's a good question. Honestly, I feel like with me being, I don't know if y'all have noticed this about me, I'm very much an introvert. So I'm very chill, laid back. So I don't let things get to me. So that's why I feel like it keeps me grounded. And I mean, at the end of the day, I can't turn my chef brain off. So 9 times out of 10, I'm still thinking about food when I'm not cooking. I'm still thinking about menu concept, menu ideas to just make myself be better than I was the day before.
And that's the truth too, because you're not just doing your chefly duties. You have a company.
Absolutely. Mama Jean Seasoning.
So you're thinking about food and food ingredients day in, day out.
More than day in and day out.
For me, I can appreciate the juggle, because we do that here. We do that with our brand partners, with companies that we work with, not to mention all of our production work duties. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into all of these operations. And what you're doing, you have to be creative. You do your 10 hours or 12 hours shift, whatever it is for the day.
I wish it was 10 hours.
You do your 14 or 16 hour shifts for the day. And then you go home, and then you have to think about, that that recipe for my next spice line, what am I putting in that? That's energy, man. That's brain energy. And I honestly don't know how you keep it together.
It's a good balance. I'm working on still trying to find that balance. Even after I'm finished working, I still have orders that I have to fulfill. So I'm not going to bed till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning just to be up by 6 o'clock, 6:30, just to get my day started over again.
You're a laid back dude. And I think that's part of the reason you're able to facilitate this. Because you're not stressed out. You're not wigged out. You control.
Absolutely. Like one thing I've learned is to not stress it. Only stress what you can control. If I can't control it, I'm not going to stress it. I tell this to everybody. It's like, if you stress it, you're not going to have a resolution by stressing it. So it's like, why even waste that energy on stressing on something you know you can't fix?
Support for Walk and Talk Media comes from Crab Island Seafood Dip, creating chef-driven crab dips made with real seafood and bold flavor. Learn more at crabislandseafooddip.com.
Now, as Carl mentioned that you opened up a seasoning company recently, what's harder, starting your own thing or sustaining it?
Sustaining it. Because, I mean, everything's good in the beginning. Something new, something fresh that's on the scene, on the market. Everybody wants it. 6, 7, 12 months down the line, 2 years down the line, how do you get the people to still buy into the product that you started out 3 years ago? So that's the hardest challenge, is just to get people to buy in, or new people to buy in.
We say that in the restaurants when we open a new restaurant, the honeymoon phase, right? There's that honeymoon phase when things are just humming and you're the hot new kid in town and everyone wants to go there. And then you go to reality. Then it's like the real work begins when, you have less people coming through that door, means you need less staff. To me, it's so easy for us to hide the mistakes that we have in operations when we're busy or when things are going your way. And nothing really gets revealed until starts seeing, the trueness of what it is. Mm-hmm. What are some of those pitfalls that you found in starting a spice company?
The pitfalls that I have discovered is a lot of people want stuff for free. Like, I've realized that probably within like the first 6 or 7 months into starting it. Even now, I think we're 3 years, maybe 4 years into it. I still have friends, family and stuff. They want something for free. But it's like, help me help you. You wouldn't ask the next person for it for free. Just because you know me doesn't mean I should give it to you for free. Like, I had to pay for this stuff. These ingredients aren't free. The bottles aren't free. This website's not free. These labels aren't free.
Like 20 years to really build this.
Like my knowledge that I have from 2003, like I started my first season and blend in 2004 while I was in my American cuisine class. None of that's free. So it's like, have some respect for my time, my effort, and my passion. And don't ask for nothing free.
That's a tough one. I mean, same thing when people expect coming to a restaurant and getting something free. Oh, I love when my general managers and chefs are like, hey, this guy up front says he knows the chef. So I already know in my mind, it's like, oh, they know the chef. They want something, And there's mouths to feed. Like, this is a business. I love what you said. Respect the craft. You've put all this time, you put these things in here and you really respect the craft, respect what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And like, I feel like some people, maybe they don't know or they just take it for granted.
Do they still do that, Mike? Is it still like, hey, I know the chef, I know the owner, I know the GM. Is it still that happening?
Yeah, absolutely. In restaurants, absolutely. I mean, listen, influence is everything. So you get hit up on Instagram with, I'm an influencer. I'd love to come in. I've got blah, 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 followings. And you have to do it with diligence, like discernment of who they are, because I'm telling you, then you'll look at their page. Wow, they have 200,000 followers and all of them are like from Brazil. Brazilian robots or Indian robot. And you're like, come on, man.
It's one thing to have an influencer kind of reach out and let's say they're legitimate, right? That they reach out and they do their thing, right? It's another thing for a non-influencer to walk up, tell the hostess or the server, hey, by the way, I know the owner.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, what are you doing? I remember that. I don't have the patience for that. I would bounce them out right on their ear. Right out.
Yeah, show some grace with it. It's I always say, I'll I'll try to come by, I'll say hello or something like that. Maybe I'll bring my stand-in and bring one of my cooks out and pretend he's Chef Mike, But it's just part of the game we play. Chef Kevin, we touched on this a little bit before. You talked about how you have to force yourself to learn new skills, stay motivated. Why is discomfort so important for chefs at your stage?
Because I feel like chefs get complacent. Once you get complacent, you're not learning anymore. Then you're just going through the motion. I feel like once you get to that stage in your career, you've already checked out. You want to push yourself to do more, do better and stuff. There's new trends coming out every week, every month, every year. You want to keep up with the times. You have to adjust and adapt. If not, you're still going to be doing stuff from the early 2000s, from the 90s, from the 80s. You got to adjust. You have to adjust. So that's why I feel like discomfort is important to me. I'm only speaking from my perspective because it's like, it's given me the motivation to know that there's more out there for me to learn. So once I learn those things, great. I've mastered it. All right, let me see what else is out there to where something that's, let's just say it scared me years ago. Let's try it out. And once I learn it, I'm like, dang, it really wasn't that hard to do.
This session of Walk and Talk Media is made possible by Citrus America, delivering fresh Florida citrus and juice solutions to food service professionals nationwide. Learn more at citrusamerica.com.
Carl, not many chefs can come here and just bang out some dishes, get on the mic and talk. And it's a skill set. All of it's a skill set that has to be learned.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to walk into a little discomfort. Like right now, Carl's making me ask all these questions. I don't want to do it. I just want to sit and talk and enjoy this podcast.
But you do want to do it. That's the thing.
I do want to do it. And so I have to force myself to get out of that comfort zone and learn this new skill. It is a skill set, right? Like it is even people.
And you know what's difficult too? I just want to make mention of this. Before we jump onto the podcast, there's hours of cooking. So you're in this frame of mind of, prep, cook, plate, you're focused, hyper-focused on that. I'm hyper-focused on, video, audio. Is it, my frame's right? Is it in focus? Is the audio working? John's doing the same thing on the photography side in the studio. And then we have to jump onto the podcast. And now we have to, switch gears into the other side of the muscle on the brain. It's not an easy thing that we do here. And the fact that, we have, like Kevin, you're, this is like your fifth time coming. We only bring back like the good ones, man. Because at the end of the day, it's hard, and it's not for everybody.
So going back to your business side, starting the spice company, building it up, getting to a point of profitability, you still feel like short from your goals. How do you balance the gratitude and ambition to do more?
I fell short on our goals because me and my business partner, one thing about like our company, it's just a 2-man business. It's just me and my friend from high school. My best friend, Mike, he handles the technical side of it. I handle everything that's in the bottle. So we had set a goal for ourselves. We wanted to meet X amount of dollars. We didn't meet that goal, unfortunately, but we still made a profit by a few $100s. So it's like we look at it as a small win. We know what we did and we know what we didn't do. And like it's a struggle to work our regular jobs, then still do our business on the side. Cause it's like all our focus isn't on our business. Our focus is our main job. That's what pays the bills. With the seasoning company, I don't want to say we do it for fun, but it was never supposed to be a business. Like it just kind of happened on its own. So it's like one day he reached out to me. He was like, hey, let's create a business. I'm like, all right, never my intent to do this. So I don't stress it too much. It's given me something to look at for life after cooking. Once I'm out of the kitchen, if that ever happens, if I'm fully out of the kitchen, which I doubt it.
But it's just another stream of income, because I always think about this as an entrepreneur, right? I do multiple restaurants, done different businesses and things like that. Not that you want to trade one for the other, but it all collectively helps build your dream at the end of the day. And I said this at the last podcast that we did, was it's your journey, not anyone else's. If you want to start this spice company because you want to share your knowledge, or whether you want to make side income, that's your journey, however you want to do it. But I always say that the most important time isn't the 9 to 5, it's 5 to 9. It's
Absolutely.
the off time when it's really just about you building something for you.
Exactly. And I do this all out of the love. I've never done this or got in this industry in general for the money. It's always been about the passion and the love for cooking, for food, just to get people's reaction. I've told people this numerous times. Food brings people together through good times, bad times, whatever the case may be. But I do it just for the love of it. And I feel like if other people share that passion, I feel like the world would be a better place.
Margins matter, percentages matter. You're putting a lot of time into that, 5 to 9, as Chef Mike is saying. All that effort, and you make sales, and you're moving bottles. It takes a lot of internal fortitude, guts, if you will, to continue on putting in the effort, knowing that, man, I know the margin's going to be tight this year. I know what we're selling for. Margins are tight. I know profitability is going to be short, but I believe in what we're doing. We're going to keep going. I'm still doing my 9 to 5, and then I'm still doing my 5 to 9. We're banging this out. It takes a lot to move that needle, man. It takes a lot to just get up and do it. 4 out of 5 hospitality professionals have faced at least one mental health challenge during their career. Stress, burnout, anxiety. These are everyday realities in kitchens, dining rooms, and bars across North America. The Burnt Chef Project North America is here to change that. They provide free, anonymous support, direct care, training, and self-care resources designed specifically for chefs, servers, and hospitality staff. From therapy services to educational modules, they're answering the call for help in one of the toughest industries. It can't be done alone. Your financial support makes this possible, ensuring that every hospitality professional has access to the tools they need to thrive. Join the movement in breaking the stigma. Email uscanada@theburntchefproject.com for donation details and mailing information, or learn more about the mission at theburntchefproject.com.
It does, but I feel like if you trust the process, everything will work out. I'm so confident in my product, I'll put it up against anything. It's like, it's because I believe in it. Not because it's mine, but it's like I know what's out there.
I'm going to tell you, my family, in-laws, there's opinions over opinions over opinions. Hard to make them happy, I can assure you, in the loveliest way possible. My mother-in-law, who cooks all the time for us, she part of the deal with coming up here to Central Florida was, I said, hey, I'm bringing Mom along. I'm blessed to have my mother-in-law with us. She's awesome. You had given us tons of this stuff, and I didn't ask, by the way. He was just generous and did that. Once she started getting into them and using them, she loves them. It took a lot to get her away from what she was using. Just saying. So it does matter, and the love shows in what you do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I never told you that, but I figured today's a good
Yeah, it's good to know. And as far as just to piggyback off of that, people like what they know. It's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that at all. So it's like to step out and try something new. It's that fear. Like I know if I go to certain restaurants, I'm going to order the same thing every time. I'm sure there's so much more good stuff on the menu. But if I go somewhere, I try something and I like it, I'm sticking to it.
How about you, Mike? You do the same thing?
Yeah, we're creatures of habit, right? Like, I don't want to risk a date night with my wife going somewhere that's not gonna show me well for later that night. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So because I was gonna vehemently disagree with you, but that's the only application where I think it makes sense. I want something new every time.
No, I want to guarantee my fate with my wife.
A lot of times, what I like to do is have the chef just bring stuff out. Hey, man, you know what? Whatever you're thinking, bring it. Because I want to try some new stuff. My wife hates that, but I love that. That's what keeps me going, man. Or else yeah, do I want to get the same thing? Yes, but I'm not a kid anymore where I can eat 10,000 calories in a day. I gotta now I have to start I gotta make good choices.
But there's certain times, right? You want the comfort of what you know you're going to get, and you also want to explore the menu. So I'll get the crowd favorites, right? And then you'll go off script a bit, which is fine. But, going to the spices and getting the spice blends and things like that, a lot of chefs, I just make it myself. And at the restaurant, you have 30 different bottles of everything you need. When I cook at home, it's a one-pot meal for me and the kids and the wife. And it's, the easiest thing that I can make. I don't want to do a lot of dishes. I don't want to think about it because you just want to go on cruise control. And I think that's, I go for those seasoning packets that I always, tried and true. And then it's just trying to build your brand and reputation into the household name. You know what I mean, Chef?
Absolutely. Just to add to that, especially like if I'm cooking at home, which is rare. I don't know if that's talked about. If chefs do cook at home, I'm one of them. I may cook once a month.
Partners of Walk and Talk Media include Aussie Select, providing fully cooked premium Australian lamb trusted by chefs for quality and consistency. Learn more at aussieselect.com.
It's like I tell everybody, you don't want to bring work home with you, so that's why I don't cook. But if I'm cooking at home, it's just me and my daughter at home, so we're simple. Pasta, we'll cook a steak, we'll cook some chicken, that's it. I find that she's using the seasonings more at home than I am. Maybe that's bad on my part, but I'm basic when it comes to eating. Salt, pepper, garlic. That's all I need. Not to say like my seasonings, the rest of them aren't good because they're amazing, but I know what I'm looking for. I just need to eat. Once I got food in my stomach, I'm good to go.
Amen.
Yeah, that's it.
I get it. A couple of months ago, we had Jack Ross in. He owns a company called Yo Meatball, and he's doing these like sauces and meatballs, really good. It's so close to my family's recipes and whatnot. So he cooked up, I don't know how many pounds and pounds and pounds of meatballs that we did when he was here. We took some home, threw them in the freezer, good stuff. My mother-in-law surprised me last night. She made some pasta, and then we had the meatballs. Let me tell you something. You want to talk about like easy peasy lemon squeezy? Bro, I was in heaven, and they're delicious too. But I was in heaven. That's my comfort food. That's what I go to. Give me some pasta. Give me some meatballs. Oh my God, I'm totally good forever.
Yeah, if I could find quality pre-made items, that don't have all of the preservatives and all, because now I'm watching that stuff for the kids and everything like that. That's my go-to because we are limited in time. I'm cooking all day. You're cooking all day. You don't want to go back home, cook all night, and then try to spend some time with the family. That's the hard part. Chef Kevin, when you look ahead, what does growth actually look like for you professionally and personally at this point?
Professionally, I just want to be a better chef than I am today. Personally, I want to be a better father, better son, better brother, better cousin, better human being.
I love that answer. How do you get there?
Once I find out, I'll let you know.
Oh, man. I tell you what, today was fun. I had a great time. Mike, did you have a good time today?
Oh, it's great. It's always great being in the studio.
Right. You look so good with the headphones and the microphone. Oh, my goodness. Chef
Carl,
my man. I love when you come here.
I love coming out here.
I know because I know I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat good.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't mess around.
I try not to.
I know. All right, look, I appreciate y'all being out here today, both of you. Big things coming here in 2026. Chef, how do we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Mama Jean Seasonings. You can find me on Facebook at Mama Jean Seasonings. You can find me on LinkedIn at Kevin Rasberry. Rasberry with no P.
Mike.
ChefMikeCollantes.com, as well as Chef Mike Collantes on Instagram.
Love it. John, as always, you're badass. We have still filming to do, so we are going to split. We